this month is all about trust. And I've been thinking a lot about what that means. It's such a strange idea, right? There are so many things that we go through when we don't trust, when we have a feeling of a lack of trust, right? We start to become, I don't like the word suspicious, but there is almost like a paranoia that can show up. We have to remind ourselves that our brains are designed to judge. That's what they're designed to do. We need to be safe. I've talked about this often, but we're so soft. We're such soft mammals. We don't have big scary teeth, and we don't have big scary claws. Okay, we just don't. We run fast, but we're not that fast. You know, so there's a lot that makes us super vulnerable. We don't have an exoskeleton. We don't have things to keep us safe. And so when you start to think about that, it's like I'm going to judge everything that's around me because I need to make sure that I'm safe. And if the bushes are shaking and making noise, I need to make sure that there's no snake there or there's not a predator there, right? So everything becomes a form of judgment in order to ensure our safety. That's a survival mechanism that we all have. Now, that leads us into creating a baseline for things, creating some consistency for things, so that if something comes in again into my wake, then, and if it's familiar, now I know what it is, so I can trust that situation, or I can trust that scenario. I can trust that that's not, you know, a saber-toothed tiger or whatever the case may be. But the problem is that when we're in relationship with, even just with ourselves, and especially with other people, if something happens once, twice, whatever, we start to shift the dial on the trust meter, right? And so I tend to be one of those people that kind of like welcome people with open arms, and then they hurt me, and then they hurt me again, and then it's like, okay, nope. Like, you're not in my field anymore, you know? And so I've had to work on that over the years, to not be like, everybody's my friend and everything is wonderful, you know what I mean? But then still at the same time, not be like so suspicious and weird that I'm not gonna let anybody in, right? So, and that really comes down to, can I trust myself with my discernment? Can I trust myself with my ability to be able to put in boundaries where they need to be, right? Not overextend my friendship in a way that is going to be somehow detrimental to myself and my family, because that's really what I have stewardship over. And so when we're thinking about like the trust that we extend out to other people, again, piggybacking off of last week, we really do need to trust ourselves. We need to trust our decision-making ability. We need to trust our discernment. We need to trust all of those things. The way that we do that is we start to get real quiet with ourselves, okay? And we start asking ourselves how certain situations make us feel, how different energies make us feel. And we start to learn to trust that a little bit more and a little bit more. And then that's how we start to create a new baseline, right? Not one that's based on like suspicion and kind of whatever, right? But more just like on a, you know what, I didn't really feel good. Like, that person may have been smiling a whole lot at me like a Cheshire cat, but there was something inside of me that just didn't feel good, you know? And so, and then that's okay. And then I can trust, that goes back, that's one layer of trust. And the next part of trusting myself would be like, okay, I don't need to go and overextend. I don't need to go and put a whole bunch of things. I also don't need to put up a whole bunch of walls and barriers. Like, I'm a grown human. Like, nobody can go and do anything to me that I don't want, that I'm not going to allow them to do. So I can trust myself. I can trust that I'm safe in every environment if I choose to allow somebody to be close to me or not close to me. Things like that. Does that make sense? And I think this is where a lot of us struggle. We don't know, right? And this is where, like, when we are talking about people who are kind of burned in relationships and things like that, because that happens. We get burned in relationships. I mean, we are interdependent humans. We like to be in relationship with other people. And so, and then sometimes, even if it's just a friendship, but sometimes when it's like a love relationship and things like that, we get burnt or hurt. And so then we'd build up a big, huge wall, right? And there was like a part of us that's like, nobody's ever going to hurt me like that again. I've gone through that. And you know what it did? It caused a heart condition. I wound up getting a heart condition from it. And so I had to work really hard to like figure out how to like move that out of the way. And so that's why it's like we have to learn to trust ourselves. And that doesn't mean putting up walls and barriers and blockades and keeping the world out and doing all those things. We're going to get hurt. We're going to go through things. We're here to have a human experience, right? So we want to know what chocolate tastes like. We want to know all the different types of chocolate. We want to know all the good things, right? I love ice cream. I want to be able to like experience all the good things in life. And then sometimes you get like a really gross one and it really hurts and it's like bad, you know? That's just part of our human experience. We have to go through it. Some of ours are more painful than others, but at the end of the day, we're here, we're having it. We want to experience it. And we want to trust that we're smart enough. And when I say smart enough, that's not a savvy smart. That's a I'm dialed into me smart enough. I feel this resonance with me, that type of smart enough to be able to go through these situations and for better or for worse, okay? So tonight we're gonna just dial in with ourselves. Who has never meditated before? Oh, good. So we're all good. All right, so let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. So thinking about the crown of our head like lifting straight up, the chin tucking slightly, the shoulders back, and then drop your sits bones into the cushion beneath you so that you just have this like really nice line, long string of pearls from the top of the head to the tip of the tailbone. If you have not closed your eyes already, just let them close down softly. So you should be able to almost see a little bit of light, just a little tiny bit of light. And then loosen up your jaw, give it a little wiggle, make sure that there isn't anything tight and constrictive in your jaw or your tongue. And then it's nice to smile a little bit so that your nervous system can just resonate with a higher vibrational frequency. And then just breathing through your nose. So let's start to really connect with that breath. Bring all of your attention to just the tip of your nose. Feel the inhales and the exhales. And then draw your attention now a little bit further in to the back of the nasal passages where you can feel the air touching the back of your sinus passages are right where the breath comes in to the back of your throat. And I want you to really be very aware of the shift in temperature. So there's cold and there's warm. There's in and there's comes out. You'll notice that some sensation in your throat. And then you'll notice the expansion now of your lungs. So I want you to just really pay attention to what your lungs and your diaphragm are doing. So as you dial into your breath, you should be able to dial into the heartbeat now as well. You may feel it pulsating through the body, but wherever you feel it, I really just want you to witness the breath and the heartbeat, okay, together. So as you're doing this, I want you to notice what's going on with your heartbeat. Is it rapid? Does it feel rhythmic and smooth? And I would encourage you to allow the breath and the heartbeat to begin to work together in a way that they support one another. So it's as if you are completely regulating your heart with your breathing. We're going to do a little clearing of our body right now. Check in with yourself. Feel if the nervous system feels smooth and quiet. I'd like everybody in this room to just picture or imagine that there's no ceiling in here, so that the next exercise that we do is leaves this space. If there's any parts inside of you that are wavering as far as your trust and your commitment to yourself, as far as I'm not sure if I can do something or if I have the wherewithal to do it. I want this breath that you're working with right now to be used as a tool to inhale and go into the spots where those doubts and lack of trust may be. And the exhale is like black smoke leaving the body and going out into the universe. So it's as if you're breathing in some sort of power that can find the parts of you that you have that lack of trust in yourself, and the exhale is the releasing of it. And imagine it as black smoke leaving your body. Notice how this is almost an exercise in letting go of control and fear. Just allow yourself to go back to just the regulation of your breathing again. You can break the concentration for that part. Now I'd like you to picture or imagine that there's just like a ball of beautiful bright light just above you. And with each inhalation, allow that strength and confidence to be poured into your body with each inhalation, coming from that bright light. you're breathing that in, pay attention to your physiology and the body. Paying attention to the heartbeat again. We can break the imagery of the light and just go back to the heartbeat and the breath. Try to notice if there's a difference from when we started. And as we've transitioned through these different layers and where you're at now. Really allow yourself to sit in the resonance of what you've created for yourself. And start to deepen your breathing in a way that will start to allow movement back into the body. And start to move about. And open your eyes when you're ready. Sometimes we allow our fears to really hold us back from different possibilities in our life, and they come down to things that the majority of the time are not very real. But we don't know that because our nervous systems are always trying to keep us safe. And thank heavens, right? But then at the same time, we miss a lot of cool opportunities. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It can just be saying hi to somebody. Everybody that comes here all the time knows how I feel about my neighborhood. And I made a new friend this morning. So proud of myself. There's this guy that I see, I ride my bike. There's like a 6-mile ride that I can do in the mornings in the neighborhood. And then I've been trying to walk more, and I see him all the time when I ride my bike, and he waves. He's like one of the few people that actually waves. And so I was walking because I've been trying to do that more. And he was like super friendly because I said, hey. And he's like, you're not riding your bike today. And I'm like, I'm not. You know me. Do you know what I mean? It's like that moment where you're like, oh, he wants to be my friend. So I was like, what's your name? And he's like, what? I was like, I'm coming on a little strong. Sorry, I'm just so excited because you like, and he told me his name, and I'm like, I'm Melissa, and he's like, nice to meet you. And he put his earbuds back in, and I'm like, so I went home and I told my husband, I said, I met the guy. His name is Garrett. And Chris was like, okay. And I go, but that's like one. Two if you include my neighbor next door. He's awesome. He's the best. So, it's the baby steps, right? Baby steps. And, but it's cool because it's like there's like these little moments where you're like, oh, it just feels so good to have human connection. Even something like really tiny like that. It's like, that just feels so good, We tried to go for a walk today. It's so hot right now. I'm like super bummed out by that. That's why we're having the Customer Appreciation Day so early this year, because I'm like paranoid about like how hot this is. We like kind of encroach the season. But we were trying to go for a walk this afternoon after our lunch, and there was another couple that like zipped past us on their little like scooter things. And my husband's like, they could smile. I'm like, but we know Garrett now. So we have one, and we can see him in the mornings. So, but it's just one of those things. It's like are we afraid to step out of our comfort zone, right? Or am I like, why don't I just like say hi to them? I should like throw a rock at them, right, to get their attention, and then they'd be my friend. I'm just kidding. And so we just we kind of do these things where it holds us back, and we don't trust. I'm so afraid of being rejected, right? I'm so afraid of being denied that extension of friendship by a perfect stranger that like who really cares, that I'm going to put up a big wall, and then I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to make that reach out. So anyway. So I don't know, maybe Garrett went home and told his wife how excited he was that like I was so excited when I told Chris. So, either that or he was like, that lady crazy, which is okay too. So that's all. We just kind of trust. You have to trust, right? It's so hard. We're so afraid of being hurt and scared and rejected and denied and shut down. And so we just stay in this little, okay? So you guys are all here, so you must be on the trust meter with me. So this month we have some cool things coming up. This Saturday is Reiki Share and Kids Yoga. And then Sunday is the Kundalini Yoga couples class, which Amanda Cho is just like such an incredible teacher. And so I know she has something really, really cool planned for that. So if you're into like kind of doing some bigger stuff, I'm not going to say it's going to be some cray-cray thing, but I'm sure she's got a good plan. She's really amazing. Then next week, I am so excited because it is Kirtan. So we have the Goddess Circle on Friday, and then we have Kirtan on Saturday. Who doesn't know what Kirtan is? Okay, so it's like a chant and repeat. So there's musicians up here, and there's like a cellist and a guitar player, and then a shruti box person, and then like so many different musicians up here. And then there's a guy, his name is Prem Vidu, and he will do some like singing, but he chants these different mantras, and they're on the wall, so you don't need to know them, and then you can repeat them. And it feels so good.
Yeah, it's hard to explain it.
It is hard to explain. You just need to experience it, and it just feels so good. I always feel like my body's made of carbonation after Kirtan. I don't know how else to explain it, but it is the best. And it's like the cheapest deal in town. It's $20 in advance or $25 at the door. So it's like, and they are such talented musicians. It is just so cool. It's so cool. So then also that same Saturday, Quentin has a hike planned, and that is going to be at Usury, the Wind Cave.
Yeah.
Yep. So there will be carpooling available for that. You do need to pay to get into the Usury Mountain Park. So Quentin will have more information on all of that. So if you can condense down into cars, it's better. Okay, just because.
You know, whoever you carpool with, you know, we do ask that you split evenly the
Yep.
cost.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
getting
So then we can. Yeah. So it's just fair, you know. But it's worth it. I love the Wind Cave. That's my hike. Is the Wind Cave.
So you're coming?
And like I would love to come. If I don't have anything going on, I'm going. Absolutely, because I do love that hike. It's one of my favorites. I used to hike that before they put all the extra switchbacks in there. I used to be able to do that hike in 25 minutes. That was another time in life. So, yeah, Wind Cave. So it's Usury. When you look at Usury, it's straight down Ellsworth Road, and it looks like it has a big scar across it, a big stripe across it. So it's beautiful. It's such a clean park. The bathrooms are clean. Everything makes me happy when the bathroom is clean. And then on the 28th, the following Saturday, is our Customer Appreciation Day. So we still do have some space for vendors. We had a henna girl last year, and she can't do it this year. So if anybody knows a henna person, please let me know, because that's kind of an important thing for me, just because I think that's nice. And that goes from 9 to 1. We'll have free yoga classes all the whole day. They're like 30-minute yoga classes, so at least you get to try everything that we offer. There are snacks, and we've got a woman that she makes Indian food. We're really excited. She's going to be here. And anyway, it's going to be awesome. Customer Appreciation Day is like my favorite. It's really cool. Super, super cool. All right, everybody, I'll see y'all next week. You can just leave your stuff here. Thank you. Thank you.